Welcome back to Gentleman's Corner, guys. My name is David. Welcome to another fantastic Friday smoke. Before we get started, I know what you're thinking. Is he wearing a jacket? Yes, I am wearing a jacket. It is a tiddly bit nipply out here. We've had a weird kind of cool front move through Texas, and unfortunately my town is on the receiving end of that at the moment. So it's just a little bit nippy out here, so I decided I'd throw on a jacket. I know it's not the most becoming thing in the world, but you know what? It's warm, and that's all that really matters. Today I'm smoking some Lane 1Q. I'm smoking this in a new pipe, or new old pipe. I'll get to that in a second. Let me light up real quick. So, I am smoking this in a new old pipe. You may remember from a couple weeks ago, I had ordered some pipes off of eBay that I had then entrusted to my local brick and mortar store to restore, because this one, the saddle bit had been completely bitten through, and another one needed to be refurbished. These are the two pipes. They are an Amphora, and this is the Amphora Extra 813, which is kind of a Rhodesian, sporty kind of shape with a real stubby stem. And this one is a vintage Hardcastle billiard in a saddle bit. This is actually from the Dunhill factory era. I've had a Dunhill expert look at it, and they confirmed for me. They can't tell me from what period in that era, but it is from the Dunhill factory era. But really quickly, I want to show you what the transformation looked like, because it really is remarkable. So real quickly, I'm going to throw up some photos for you of what the before and afters look like. Let's take a look at those really quickly. Alrighty guys, so there you have it. That before and after is really remarkable. Now you may notice that the Hardcastle has a new addition to the stem, and I'll get to that in a second. Let me just relight this. So unfortunately, when they went in to repair the stem, they realized that the shank had this massive crack in it, and unfortunately it had to be reinforced with metal. So now some of the stamping is covered up, and I'm really bummed about that, but I'm really happy that I'm still able to smoke it. So they created a brand new stem for it out of lucite, and then this new addition here is nickel. And it does have stamping on the bottom, so it's a very nice addition. I think it actually makes it look a little bit classier, but that's just my opinion. I like army mounts and the sterling silver additions to pipes, so I think this is rather elegant, actually, in terms of the way that it works. So just can't seem with this. I've got some wind coming, and I cannot seem to keep this lit. I'm going to go for another light here. Let me see if I can get this done. If I can't, I may just put this down. Well, I've got it mostly going. The tobacco is also a little bit damp, so I'm dealing with that as well. So let us see what is on the agenda for today's Fantastic Friday, if I can keep from dropping things. Yeah. So we've talked about the refurbished pipes. I have been debating this for a while, and I finally have just come to the conclusion that I wanted to have an objective standard for my tobacco reviews. And to that end, I have created a tobacco review sheet. This is that review sheet. And what this review sheet is it is several categories upon which I shall rate tobaccos and their various attributes. so that I can relay them to you in a concise fashion, so that I'm not just kind of rambling on about tasting notes and then going, oh yeah, but also this thing, and oh yeah, also this thing. It's going to make my reviews a little bit more cohesive, a little bit more concise, and a little bit easier to understand. So the categories that I am looking at with these review sheets are the tobacco's name, manufacturer, type, ingredients, cost, and then on a rating system, on a scale of 1 to 5, taste, flavor intensity, and room note. I also have categories here for the cut, the moisture content out of the tin, the mouth feel, and the tin note. And then half a piece of paper for me to which, on which for me to write my tasting notes as I am doing various tastings. I'll have a category for first tasting, subsequent tastings, things like that, things that I can add to. This Hardcastle is smoking remarkably well, all things considered, including the damage to the shank. So I'm very, very happy with this. Now I've also got a couple of new pens that I'm going to review for you at some point. They are the Pilot Metropolitan in a fine point nib and the Lamy Safari in a medium nib. And I'm going to put those two head to head. I know it's not really fair to put them head to head because they are not the same nib size, but I want to compare their ease of use and the quality of their writing. More so the feel than, actually comparing, okay, this fine point versus that fine point. So, but be on the lookout for those reviews in the coming weeks. Finals is coming up. My first final is a week from Monday. And I'm now in panic mode of, okay, I need to get all my notes and create my outlines so that I can study for these classes, because I don't know how many of you know how law school exams work. Essentially, if you've seen the paper chase, then you know. But essentially what it is you have one exam at the end of the semester, and it is a full comprehensive exam, and that is your grade for the entire semester. So it's a lot of work. So what we try to do is we try to take all of our notes from class and boil them down into a concise outline of our notes, so that we have something to study from that is not 160 pages long. And for the most part, I've been moderately successful at this. A lot of it is I'm a very conclusory writer, and so having to go through and explain my thinking sometimes doesn't always come through the way I expect it to. But we're going to keep moving forward with it, and I'm sure everything will be fine. What else? Okay, now to the topic of this video. Can you spare a dime? Life is just expensive, as I'm finding out, and I've always known that life was expensive. This is not news to me. This is not anything that I was not expecting. You get to a certain point in life where you just realize life is going to be expensive. You're going to pay a lot of money for a lot of things, and it's not always things that you want to spend money on. Now, part of what makes my life so expensive is the fact that I'm getting married soon. So not only am I paying for my living expenses right now, but I'm trying to set aside money to pay for the wedding. And it's just this whole debacle of trying to budget, and the budgets never hold through. Not because we are not disciplined, but because life happens, and life is expensive. So I find myself many times kind of looking at my bank account going, I spent how much on what? What? I spent $30 on that meal? God, what was I thinking? And But you really do. You get to this point in life where about the time that you hit 25, you're suddenly going, God, man, life is expensive. Man, I didn't realize that insurance was, $145 a month. I didn't realize that, not only am I paying for homeowners insurance, but I'm also paying for car insurance and life insurance and medical insurance and all these insurances, and just, oh my goodness. And then trying to couple in pipe smoking on top of that. You're dead. Because this is an expensive hobby. It really is. And I really wish that it wasn't, because I enjoy it so much. But I'm sure all of y'all that are watching can relate. You hit this point in life where all of a sudden you realize, God, $20 is not a lot of money when you're spending it. But then when you go back and look at it on your bill balance, you're like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. But like just the other day, I went into my local suit shop, and I was getting suits fitted for myself and my groomsmen. And we're only renting because we only need it for the one day, because this is not a look that I would need to wear for the rest of my life, or else I would invest in buying a tuxedo. But we went in, and just the package itself for a one-day rental is $190. I'm just going, oh my gosh. I could buy a new suit for less than that on clearance. So I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I've had this realization lately that, gosh, my living style is expensive, and it seems like every time I turn around, I'm spending money on something. And it's not always on, Starbucks or Play Money. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but man, it's just driving me nuts. So anyway, that's that's my rant on that. Life is expensive. Life sucks. I realize, we have all got to put together a budget at some point and stick to it. But man, it's fun complaining, though, isn't it? It is. It's fun complaining. Like, that everybody else has the exact same complaints that you do, and everybody has the same answer, which is suck it up. But it's just fun to vent. It is. I don't know. But anyway, so be looking out for reviews next week. I haven't decided if it's going to be a tobacco review or if it's going to be the head-to-head video with the Lamy Safari and the Pilot Metropolitan. I'm still trying to cut back on my smoking right now ahead of this dentist appointment to try and get my gums back in line. And I've got them pretty much where I want them, except for this one tooth, and it's driving me nuts. But I think I can get it back in the line and be back onto tobacco reviews by next week. So, but I haven't decided which it's going to be yet. I still need to decide, if I do a tobacco review, which tobacco it'll be. But I definitely want to have something interesting for y'all next week. By the way, I hope you enjoyed the lighter review video. I hope that it was informative in some way. I don't know a great deal about lighters, but I've tried to do my best to kind of bring together the knowledge that I've been able to collect from other various sources. So I hope you've enjoyed it. But other than that, be on the lookout next week for another review and another Fantastic Friday. Video delays, I know I'd said a few weeks ago that videos might be delayed at some point. That won't start happening until later in May, around May 20th or so is when I start major preparations for my bar exam. So about that time is when videos are going to start getting delayed. They will become less frequent as I'm trying to get around to doing things with such a hectic schedule. And I hope all of y'all can understand that. I'm sure you can. So, but other than that, though, reviews coming next week. Fantastic Friday next week. Be on the lookout. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit like. If you'd like to see more of my videos, please hit subscribe. And please do hit that little button next to the subscribe button. It looks like a little bell, and when I upload videos, it will ring for you. If you'd like to get in touch with me to either recommend tobacco reviews or just to ask a question, the best way to do that is to get on my Twitter or my Instagram. You can find the links to both of those in the description box below. Use the hashtag AskGentleman'sCorner and tag me, and feel free to say whatever you like. Comment, say hi. I'd love to hear from you. Other than that, my name is David. This has been Fantastic Friday on Gentleman's Corner. I hope you're having a fantastic Friday wherever you are, and other than that, have a good one.